Imagine you're a company, and your primary product is offering music listeners the ability to see their favorite artists in person. One of, if not the biggest artist in the world, is going to use your service to book the biggest tour of their career. To meet the demand, you offer a variety of exclusive opportunities to get access to this tour. You make your customers verify the intensity of their fandom. You schedule specific days just for the pre-sale of tickets. You make customers wait in digital line for hours just to gamble at a shot at a ticket. The day of the sale, everything imaginable goes wrong. Now stop imagining. The story you just heard was one of the most disastrous days for live entertainment in modern history. That company, TicketMaster. That artist, Taylor Swift. And those customers, the most intense fans of any artist maybe ever. The result? Congressional hearings, outrage across the internet, and the exposure of decades of bad business practices. Hey everybody, you're watching Playing for Cats, a channel dedicated to helping animals in need get the help they need. If you want to support the cause, hit the like and subscribe button, then check out the links in my channel to see how you can financially assist nonprofits helping these animals. TicketMaster, at this point, is undeniably the largest name in live event entertainment. Almost every major artist and venue is contractually obligated to use their service to sell their tickets. Anybody looking to buy a ticket for a sporting or musical event will probably be using TicketMaster to purchase, transfer, and sell their tickets. That sounds like a great resource for fans to have, right? A one-stop shop where all of your consuming needs are met on a single app. However, the history and the current state of TicketMaster has brought to light an uglier side of the live entertainment sector. TicketMaster started in the 70s as a small company meant to simply sell software licensing and ticketing hardware. In the 80s, however, with the leadership of a new CEO, this small company moved to the big town of LA to expand their business. This access to new venues and investors saw the shift to computerized ticketing. The first red flag in this story is when Ticketmaster acquired their main competitor and industry leader, Ticketron, making Ticketmaster the company with the largest market share in the sector. At this point in time, following shortly after Kurt Cobain's death, the new largest band in the scene, Pearl Jam, filed a complaint with the Department of Justice against Ticketmaster's fees. The case didn't go anywhere, with members of the band claiming the Department of Justice only heard them as a means of sounding more hip. Pearl Jam went on to have a horrendous tour of an off-kilter venues like ski lodges due to Ticketmaster having so many of the larger venues under contract. Pearl Jam canceled this DIY tour halfway through and begrudgingly used Ticketmaster to service their next tour. In the 2000s, there's a significant number of business moves made to increase capital and further growth. This next acquisition was TicketWeb Incorporated, which primarily focused in computer and phone ticket sales. Another major red flag was when they lobbied to numerous states to limit ticket resale markets to just authorized companies. In their defense, this would significantly decrease the amount of false, fake, forged, or stolen tickets on the secondary market, essentially guarding the consumer like me and you. However, this would certainly stifle competition, as the only companies allowed to resell tickets would be the ones selling the tickets in the first place. Towards the end of the 2000s, Ticketmaster acquired several more companies that focused on the resale market. Another major red flag was their acquisition of Frontline Management, which managed major artists like Aerosmith and Jimmy Buffett. Now, for the big one. This next acquisition is one of the sole reasons why Ticketmaster is so controversial to this day. At this point in time, 2009, Ticketmaster has the majority market share for ticket distribution. Live Nation, an event promotion company that also had a majority market share for its niche, which ironically enough was formed to compete against Ticketmaster, was acquired by them. Obviously, this raised a lot of alarm bells for antitrust laws. After some hearings, the merger was approved by the Department of Justice as long as the companies obeyed certain agreements for 10 years. Fans across the world cried out in anger as the negligence of national governments for allowing such a strong company to exist in such a small space. Bruce Springsteen even publicly denounced the merger on his website, calling the merger a monopoly situation. Ticketmaster would go on to fail the stipulations of the merger, causing the DOJ to add 5 more years to the consent decree and a $3 million fine. In the 2010s, Ticketmaster made even more acquisitions of smaller competitors, giving them access to services for major festivals like Lollapalooza. Now cut to Taylor Swift, in the prime of her career, having just released a decade of hits and classics, is also coming off the record-shattering new album, Midnight. This same album broke the record for most streams in a single day in Spotify history with over 180 million streams. She's also the most streamed female artist on Spotify with 35 billion plays. She's one of the highest grossing touring artists of the 21st century by this point. As a ticket distributor, this is someone that can generate a lot of buzz towards your business. With hindsight, maybe a little too much buzz. Taylor Swift announces her new tour called Eras, which is following up on the highest grossing tour of all time, her 2018 Reputation stint. There was so much demand drawn up through the internet. They increased the total number of shows to 52, up from the original 27. Ticketmaster promises Swift they have the capacity to handle her insanely large fan base. In order to prepare for the onslaught of fans, they offer pre-sale dates, meant exclusively for verified fans. The first day of these sales, November 15th, went as disastrous as possible. The website crashed within 1 hour of the offering. But, get this, Taylor Swift still became the artist with the highest number of tickets sold in a single day at over 2 million in 1 hour. While Ticketmaster expected high traffic, their website showed over 3.5 billion system requests due to bots and people that were not expected to join. Waitlists and queues piled up as Ticketmaster tried to commit crowd control. They were forced to postpone the pre-sale offering for the next day intended for Capital One cardholders, which I'm sure a lot of them were probably only Capital One cardholders due to the benefits. Ticketmaster also canceled the entirety of the general sale due to insignificant inventory. Now, with that in mind, imagine the prices of the resale market, which, as we now know, is primarily run by Ticketmaster. On November 18th, a few days after the pre-sale, the average ticket price on the secondary market was over $2,000. So, as a fan, how are you going to feel about Ticketmaster? Well, if you're a politician like AOC or 2020 presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar, you're likely to create national buzz with a threat of investigation. As leaders of our government become swamped with calls and letters from fans begging for reconciliation, we're likely to see Ticketmaster under some serious fire. They already have a number of warnings, fines, and congressional hearings. This event, spurred by the most intense fan base in music, might make Ticketmaster regret ever having become such a massive name. What do you think? Considering that they're optional, unlike a serious monopoly like a railroad or oil company, do you think government should intervene? Do you think you'll ever use Ticketmaster again? Let me know in the comments, and take care.